Hello everyone, and welcome to our latest edition for you. And today we're going to be talking about web versus native, and we're going to talk you through some of the detail on that. And we're going to start off with offline mode. Really important feature. For example, when you're sitting on a train going through a tunnel and you want to access some content, if it's not in native, you're not going to be able to get access to a Wi-Fi or a 3G connection, and therefore offline is really important. And a big tick, native wins for that one. Device features, native again, really important. If you look at some of the device features on your phone, accessing the camera, accessing contacts, or whatever it might be, native is really the only pull-through that you can use, and therefore native wins again. Discoverability, this is where web comes in. And if you think about your SEO strategies, and if you put a search tag into Google, you're going to discover that web page, and therefore you can discover some of your web apps. So that's a big win for web apps. Speed, really important. People want to access information quickly and efficiently when they want to. And we're going to win again with native here. Because most of the logic is controlled within the app itself and the content, etc., therefore it's going to win, and native is the big tick. Moving on to maintenance, and maintenance is a big tick for the website. And the reason for that is that native apps can be complicated for developers to maintain, and they have to package the maintenance and put it back up to the app stores. Whereas maintenance for the website is much more just maintenance for general web. So let's move on to dev cost. This is where web apps are going to win. And the reason for that is that web apps are generally cheaper to initially develop up front. But don't forget loyalty, and we'll talk about that at the end. And if you look at the whole cycle of your investment on an application, we think you should be using both, and we'll come on to that. Let's look at the user interface. This is a big tick for native again. And the reason for that is that the way the flows work, it's much more gesture controlled within the app, whereas a web app, you're just relying on web presence. And then finally, loyalty, and we touched on it before in a number of different areas. But just remember that when you're grabbing real estate on your customers' handsets, a native app in its functionality with the ability to work offline is the most important thing. So thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again on our next edition.